Hey guys, how's it going? This is Chris Alaimo here with Kwame McCain for episode 2 of Mo Sports, Less Problems. So I guess let's just get right into it, Kwame. What made you become, obviously, another Manchester United fan on episode 2? I promise I'll have other teams and other people, not just Man United fans.
I mean, you can dilute the quality of your guests, but just know that your best guests are going to be
a little
wearing this crest. But I am a Manchester United fan, and that is due to my father.
All right, I want to hear the story. I mean, does he love it there? Born in Manchester?
No, my dad born in Montego Bay, Jamaica.
Okay.
And he's been playing soccer since he was a little kid, and just I don't really know how it happened. He came over to the States, and I think it might have been David Beckham, like as just the big star that he was, invading the market over in the States, because my dad moved here when he was in his 20s. And I guess he just became a Manchester United fan, and I was born, so I just kind of followed his footsteps.
That's it.
I think so, yeah. And then I kind of fluttered between Man United and Real Madrid right at the beginning, like when I was a little kid.
I mean, they're different leagues. I can see that.
Yeah, and the thing is, it really was only because Beckham went to Real Madrid, and then also Brazilian Ronaldo, and then Zlatan were on Real Madrid.
Yeah, that's true.
And those are like
and
two
then
of my
Beckham
favorite.
went there shortly
Exactly.
after. Okay. That makes sense.
So
yeah. As everyone can tell, I'm not wearing my Spurs jersey today. I'm pretty upset that we lost today to Chelsea. Kind of really... Well, it destroys our title chances, the slim chances we did have, but definitely hurts to lose to Chelsea. And this is where either we're going to make the top 4 or we're not, in terms of, we lost to Burnley, we lost to Chelsea, we play Arsenal at home, we play City at the Etihad, and then we play Liverpool at Anfield.
Yeah.
So... It's make or break time. It's now for Pochettino to make his money. It's time for everyone to step up, and I mean, this is going to be a rough stretch here, especially in the form we're in right now.
That's very true. And, you could have helped us today, with beating Chelsea. I was like, I've always respected Tottenham, but, today I was extra like, please, help us out. We're trying to secure this top 4. Let's knock Chelsea out of here. Let's keep them down where they belong.
Yeah, last year was our first time beating Chelsea at Stamford Bridge in 28 years. This would have been, we're 1 for 29 now with the loss today at Stamford Bridge. So it doesn't look good historically.
That's
but, it's definitely going to be a rough patch of games coming up here.
Oh, yeah, no, that schedule's tough.
Well, so I won't just talk about Spurs season. I'll put that commentary later. But I guess going to United, obviously with Ole taking over, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. What's your thoughts on him so far?
Just sign that man. Sign him for the next few years.
I am in the same boat, because if you sign him, you guys don't sign Pochettino. So it's a win-win at this rate.
That is true. I've always felt like they needed to not only move in a new direction of coaching, in terms of not just someone that's already established, but someone on the up and up. And then there's nothing better than a United legend. Like, we always wanted Giggs. Didn't happen.
Yeah.
And Ole steps in.
Where is he now?
Oh, God. I forgot where he went. Is he... He's not in Italy, no.
I forget what he did. He was there for a while, and then Michael Carrick's kind of like the up-and-coming, legend, the second man in command. I don't think he'll take over anytime soon, but, maybe I think he works with the youth squad and stuff like that.
Yeah, and the thing about Ole, the way he runs his team, it's almost like by committee. It's not just him as the manager. Like, if you look at the last game they had with Liverpool, where they had to just put on a defensive stand, he wasn't even the guy running the field. It was the other old United player. Man, I can't remember his name. But there's 3 of them. It's Carrick, Ole, and then a guy who played defense for United years and years back, and he took command of the team mainly in that moment when we, 3 subs, 42 minutes, and then just had to play defense for the rest of the game.
Even though you guys were on the back foot, or quote-unquote back foot, playing defense and having 3 people go off the subs because of injury, that's never a good sign, especially you're playing with 10 and a half men. Rashford was limping around after the 50th or 60th minute. He did not look good. But even you guys had the better chances. I don't think Liverpool didn't have a shot on target in the second half, one. And then two, you guys had a goal called off for offsides. You had the cross from... I don't know if it was Lukaku's cross or Pogba's cross. I don't know who it was that crossed the ball. Man, I think it was Young to Smalling.
Yeah,
Young to Smalling. And Smalling, if he just dove at the ball, sacrificed his body, he would have been up on Liverpool, and I think a lot of people would be very happy.
Oh, I would have been dancing in the streets if we had won that game.
Yeah, but I mean, in all, you guys played the better game. I think you had the better chances, and Liverpool did not look like themselves. I mean, they lost for Firmino, but Salah and Mane did nothing in that game. Yeah, absolutely nothing.
That's one man's fault. That's the resurgence of Luke Shaw.
Luke Shaw.
He's back. He's here.
Yes. He's bearing injury, some crazy injury. That injury I still can't watch. I have watched. I just don't want to rewatch again of him destroying his shin or fibula or every bone in his leg. I don't know how he walks.
Yeah.
But no, and we were talking with Dave in the last episode that he's definitely the future. I don't know what you feel about Zlatan or the future at right back with obviously Young and Valencia aren't getting any younger anytime soon.
That's true.
Yeah, but I know with Delo.
I think it's Delo. I think. I'm really not sure.
I'm doing a sports podcast. I'm horrible at pronouncing and spelling, and it's pretty ironic in the grand scheme of things. So I guess segueing. So now going into your team. So obviously you like Ole, signed the man on a long-term contract, and it's so weird because he's from Molde on loan.
Yeah.
Wait, is that a Swedish or Norwegian club? I guess.
Norwegian.
Yeah, because he's Norwegian.
Yeah.
That makes sense. But it's weird that they loaned out their manager.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's weird. Whatever. He's loaned out. He's at United.
That's where he started his career.
I mean, it makes sense, but I don't know why Molde would let that happen.
Oh, yeah.
United was probably we want to sign him, and they're like, we'll loan him out. And it's if they give him the job, he'll be the permanent guy. But I guess that's just their way of having him as the interim manager for the time being, and he gets to keep his old job if he gets fired. I don't see that happening. But with the resurgence of the team, Ole being your interim manager, but I guess getting into your team selection, if you could sign one player today, who would it be?
Oh, I've really
I guess give me the position that you need help for, and then the player that you could sign. I mean, they don't have to be the same if you need a right back, but you're we still need attacking people or whatever it may be.
Okay, so in the past, in the I wish I could forget the Jose era, I would have said a center back, 100%. But I've seen what happens when you instill confidence in a team and in your center backs. So I kind of want to wait and see what happens with Lindelof, Bailly, Smalling, and that little core there. Even maybe Rojo. We'll see what happens. I think if I were to change a position, it would be center defensive mid. Okay. And that would be changing out Matic.
And, I mean, Fred's kind of the forgotten man right now at United for, I don't know, what was he, 73 million? He wasn't that much. 50 million?
I think it was 17 mil. 17 mil? No, it might have been 27. 27 mil? It wasn't terribly too much, but it was significant.
Yeah, he wasn't Lukaku was 70. I don't know how much he was, but basically, I mean, Fred's kind of the forgotten man, which is bad for him, but Herrera, I think, has really stepped his game. Pogba's kind of that free-floating midfielder, and you kind of need that last anchor. Yeah. I mean, in this day and age, everyone's looking for their N'Golo Kante. Exactly. Chelsea aren't playing well, but it's not N'Golo Kante's fault. It's Sarri's playing him out of position. I don't know what he's doing. Yeah. That's for another piece of... We may have just lost to them, but they're still below us on the table. So let that, for what that's worth, let that just be known. Okay, so you would want a new center defensive mid. Any players in mind then? Sign anyone in the world.
Sign anyone in the world. Oh man.
Or I guess we'll go. You can sign anyone you want, but then we'll give you a more realistic Chelsea's not giving you N'Golo Kante.
Yeah, because if I could take anybody in the world, it's N'Golo Kante. Okay. But you know who I've always been intrigued by, and he hasn't had a great season this past season. But in the past, he was seen as just this guy who was really coming forward, and that's Nainggolan.
Nainggolan. Oh, he went from Roma to Inter.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Raja Nainggolan.
Yeah, I like his. He's a bulldog. He is just an absolute bulldog. I like his energy.
He's good.
And he's just
what is he? Belgian?
Yes.
He's Belgian.
Yeah.
part of that young Belgian crew.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, Belgium did really well at the World Cup this year, but
Yeah.
I maybe they've got another 4 years of it, but it seems like that wave of like the younger, the Hazards, the Witzels, like I'd say probably the next World Cup's probably their make or break, like last World Cup together. De Bruyne, company's gonna no.
Company can't even
play at City. He's like limping to the finish line here.
His knees are gonna become dust if he tries to play another World Cup.
Yeah, no, honestly. All right, so let's go with most overrated player in the United squad. I got Dave's opinion. I don't know if you saw the video from last week. Overrated United player.
Who did he give?
I want to hear yours first before he says anything. Before
Most
I give you
overrated player in United squad. So it used to be Alexis Sanchez.
Okay.
Now, and I think it's my dad influencing me because he just hates this guy, and it really doesn't make sense how much he hates him. But it might be Matic.
Really?
Yeah, my dad hates Matic, and it seeped into me.
So Dave's was Alexis Sanchez still.
Yeah.
But it's so funny because when you guys first signed Matic, it looks like you signed the new Zlatan.
Exactly.
Like in the first 3 games, he had like 5 assists and like a goal, and like he was playing out of his mind.
The first few games that he played for United, we were looking at Chelsea like, what were you thinking? what were you thinking giving us this? You might have handed us a title.
Yeah.
And then he had some injury nags after that first really good run, and then. I don't know. I think my problem with him is I think he's starting to go over the hump.
Yeah.
It's not that he's not good. I just think he's starting to, reach past his prime and slow down a little bit. And the way I see someone like N'Golo Kante play, we need a center defensive mid that is just everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Everywhere. And take for instance, when he got beat on the back post by, who were we playing? Oh, no, against PSG.
Oh yeah.
When you got beat on the back post, you can't.
Yeah.
You can't fall asleep like that.
Yeah, and that was his man.
Yeah.
Although Mbappe's goal, that was also brought up last week. He's like white lightning, not even white lightning. I'm not going there.
Technically black lightning.
You said it, not me.
Yeah.
Everyone for the podcast, you said it.
Yeah.
No,
but
it was the white jersey that confused
me.
No, but that kid is fast as hell. I looked up the speed ratings of the top 10 players in the world right now, and Bale is still number 1, surprisingly. But Mbappe was number 2 for, I guess, just speed ratings. I think it was like 37 kilometers per hour is like his top speed that he had. But he literally was like 6 feet behind Jones and I think it was Lindelof, and he blows by them for Di Maria's ball that he plays across the front of them. Incredible. It was crazy.
I think he's going to be something special.
Yeah.
Special. I mean, he has phenomenal touch, but that athleticism is, I don't think we've seen that. I think he has more athleticism in a striker than Thierry Henry did.
That's a bold statement. That is a bold statement.
Thierry Henry, though,
being a Spurs fan, I hate Thierry Henry, but I also love him because I'm a New York Red Bulls fan.
Exactly.
So I'm like, I hate this. But I will respect Thierry Henry is one of the greatest Premier League players to ever play the game. He'd probably be. That's probably in an upcoming episode. I'll do my all-time Premier League 11.
I mean that Arsenal team with him and Dennis Bergkamp was just
filthy. Filthy.
Oh my goodness.
No, but I said this in the last video as well. I hate to sound like I'm just repeating myself, but Dave and I were talking about Mbappe, and it's kind of always been the Messi and Ronaldo show, and then who's in third. And Neymar's kind of fallen in that role. Maybe Griezmann, Lewandowski. Those are kind of the names that come to mind. Suarez. Even Xavi and Iniesta when they were in their prime. Yeah. Those are kind of like really good names, I guess, to round out the third place. But I think the future. If Mbappe doesn't win, he's the third place guy now. I really think he's going to be the next 1 or 2 in the world going forward. Like Neymar, he's a phenomenal player. Don't get me wrong, and I will not. I hate his diving antics. A phenomenal player. Yeah. I mean, might beat Pele's all-time Brazil record if he stays healthy for scoring. I think he's like 17 off the mark. He has like 60 goals for Brazil. Pele had like 77. I think Romario's like at 65 or 66. So he's third on the list, but. Neymar, I don't know. He just always fell short of expectations. Like, he always felt like he was in the shadow at Barcelona.
Yeah.
He's gone to PSG. He's battled injuries. I know that's not his fault. But I just think Mbappe, like, we were watching a 20-year-old kid. This kid is 20 years old. He's won the World Cup. He's, like, not single-handedly destroyed United, but he embarrassed the United team.
He did.
It's only, like...
He embarrassed Argentina.
His floor is so high already. He embarrassed Argentina.
He embarrassed Argentina.
Not that he carried France, but I mean, he's a big reason of why they won. That team is stacked aside from him.
Yeah, they were stacked, but the thing was, every time he got on the ball in the World Cup, especially, you were like, what is he going to do? And there was actually a goal that was called, either there was a foul before or called off sides, where he had split two defenders and then put it in the back of the net. And these are two. I think this was against Argentina, against two world-class defenders.
Otamendi and someone else, maybe not Mascherano, but I forget who's playing in the back at Argentina. But anyway, two pretty good defenders,
and just made them look like children. And he's 20.
Yeah,
and he was
19 in the World Cup.
Yeah, he was 19.
He won at 19 years old. The only other people that can say that. Well, I guess I don't want to get into logistics of it, but like Pele, I think was like 17 or 19 during his first World Cup, but. I mean, players that not only were teenagers, and I'm part of the World Cup winning squad. I got brought here because I'm like an up and coming talent, doesn't play. He started all 6 games, or I think he started all 6 games, and he like carried them to the final and ended up scoring in the final.
Exactly. When you put Ousmane Dembele on the bench, that means you're a good player.
Yeah,
that means you're a good player.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Ousmane Dembele is young too, and that France squad's going to be good for the next decade at least. At least. Even like Griezmann's one of the older ones. He's like 25, 26 at best,
It makes no sense.
That team's going to be really good for a long time.
It makes no sense. That France team is incredible.
All right, so moving on, still sticking with the United theme. What I was thinking of this. This was a topic I didn't ask Dave last week, but I thought it would be a good one. What would you say is like 3 players at United ranking from, the top 3 players? Like, this is our number 1 player, number 2, and number 3. Because I'm interested. There is a lot of superstars in the United squad. Mm-hmm. Who's number 1, meaning we can't trade, we can't sell, we can't replace players 1, 2, and 3.
Number 1, David De Gea.
If you didn't say that, I would be like, this man's insane.
David De Gea.
Okay.
He has saved us. He's the only reason why possibly this season, but definitely seasons before, why we haven't dropped 3 spots.
Yeah.
I've never seen a goalie just carry a team like United and keep them in relevancy. Like
it almost kind of segues off like what Arsenal tried to do off the back of Petr Cech's career. Another phenomenal goalkeeper, but he was like you were saying, past the hump of like Matic. He was past his prime, and there's only so much he could do. But he definitely started to like mess up a couple saves, couple footwork, pass back. Some mistakes were made in the later part of his career where they were hoping that Arsenal's defense wasn't good, but that they hoped Petr would make up for and save points. Exactly. He definitely did when he first signed, but he fell off, and now he's no longer starting as their goalkeeper. But De Gea, like you said, like finishing anywhere in the top 6, he's helped you with that so much.
Exactly. So he's far and away the number 1. Pay him.
Yeah.
Apparently there are rumors he wants to get paid more. Pay him.
Pay him.
I don't know. If you need to crowdfund, if we need to all, if every United fan in the world needs to put $5 in, I'm sending that in right away. I don't care.
You'll send 20.
Yeah, exactly. I pay the man. Keep him in a United shirt. That's number 1. Number 2, I have to go with Rashford.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, that's a good pick. And then
he's younger. He's
their future. And Dave was saying last week, he's like, he could see Harry Kane being like a one club man. He could totally see Rashford being, the one club guy that stays there.
Born and bred.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No, he's the future for England. He's the future for the United squad. So he's number 2. Number 3, that's a tough one. Oh wait, no, it's not tough. That's Pogba.
Pogba?
Yeah, I think that if you watch the run of form that Pogba has had from the World Cup, ignoring all of the Jose era, and then where we are now, Pogba's showing what he can be. And what he can be is one of the top midfielders in the world.
So I agree with that statement, but I'm going to put a little line in there. I completely agree. Watching him, going through the youth academy at United, going to Juventus, having a great career at Juventus, and then coming over and kind of faltering. I guess, was he Jose's first signing? One of Jose's first signing, or was he signed under Van Gaal?
Oh man, that escaped. I think it was under Jose.
I think you're right.
I think it was under.
And
Jose.
he's always, since arriving under Jose, he's always been like just a step off, not there, disappointing is kind of the words that have been used to describe him. But I think that, we've seen a run of form from the World Cup, yes. We've seen a run of form under Ole. I want to see what happens when, his form dips, how he rebounds back on that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And he's still young. He's 24, 25. He's
I think he's 24.
24, 25. Yeah. So he's still got definitely a career ahead of him, but I just want to see, it's all good when a new manager comes in, has faith in you, gives him that free roaming role. I want to see when things get tough again.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like, it's too compartmentalized and small sample size of, like, we haven't seen his full career. I guess I'll be saying in a few years, this is his career, and, it was either really good, really bad, or somewhere in the middle.
That's
true. We'll definitely see. I agree with that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, those are my 3.
And then 3 players you despise. You can rattle these ones off quick. We don't need to go.
All right, that's Matic. What else do I despise? Phil Jones.
Phil Jones?
Yeah, he just disappoints me. And then, I don't know if there's anyone else I despise.
Sanchez.
he's giving me a little bit of hope these last few games, but then I'll put him at the 3rd spot.
Okay.
I'll put him at the 3rd spot.
All right.
Yeah, he's got room to move, though.
All right, so I guess we're getting to the next segment. I want you to predict top 6 predictions. So.
Okay. So.
Who's winning the league?
I mean, either way, I'm gonna hate it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, either way, I'm gonna absolutely hate it. It's gonna be Man City.
All right.
Liverpool.
All right.
And then I think Tottenham will hold to that third spot.
Okay.
And I'm putting my boys in 4.
Okay.
Man United 4, Chelsea 5, Arsenal 6.
All right. I think that might be exactly what Dave and I had to round out the top 6. I'll link the 2 videos, or at least I'll put the column right here like I did last time in the video. So I need to pull out my phone for this one now, but I guess, who do you think's getting relegated? So bottom 3 in the Premier League. I don't know if I can show you the table here.
Yeah, I definitely need that. I really hope it's not Fulham, even though they look a little shaky right now. And that's just because of, I'm a Red Bulls fan like you, and Tim Ream still holds a special place in my heart.
Yeah.
So I don't want him to get relegated. He finally made it back up to the Premier League. I want him to stay there, but...
Yeah, the thing with Fulham is they, really invested heavy this summer.
Exactly.
And I thought, okay, they're not winning the league, but I thought they'd hover around, 13 through 9. And they've really disappointed. Managers aside, bringing in Claudio Ranieri. But, they've just...
defense.
They've been letting the most goals in the Premier League right now, so that's part of their issue. But, yeah, I guess they got to just build from the back. But, Jean-Michael Siri coming in from Nice, and... They bought Sherlock.
When they bought Sherlock,
I was like, they mean business. They mean business. All right, so
Mitrovic.
So here's the bottom half right now. So we got West Ham at 10, Leicester at 11, Bournemouth 12, Newcastle 13, Crystal Palace 14, Burnley at 15, Brighton at 16, Southampton at 17, Cardiff at 18, Fulham at 19, Huddersfield at 20.
All right, yeah, I definitely believe Huddersfield's going down.
So they're at the 20 spot.
Yeah, Huddersfield's going down. I'm gonna keep Fulham up out of it. I'm gonna say they're gonna dig deep.
They need to dig real deep. They are
wait,
10
how
points
many points
behind.
Okay, no, they're not. Never, no, never mind. Not with that defense. If they're 10 points behind, it's not happening. But actually, I think Southampton's gonna drop below Cardiff.
Really?
Yeah, I think Southampton's going to falter.
Okay, so you got rounding out at 20 at Huddersfield, 19 Fulham.
Yeah,
and then 18 as Southampton.
Yeah.
All right, that's a little different than Dave and I. Dave and I said Cardiff's going down, so as of right now, our prediction would be correct. But yeah, I guess so. Now I don't know if we're gonna move on to the last one. Oh, so I guess some other news. So. What do you think of, I don't know if you got a chance to see Man City versus Chelsea in that whole debacle from this weekend.
One of the funniest things I've seen in a long time.
I have never seen anything like this in soccer.
I think just at some point in my soccer career, I thought of it. What if a player just said no? Can you do that? And I figured the answer was just no.
Yeah.
That you can't just, I'm not going to go off the field.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I guess you...
Someone said, because there was a bunch of people talking on Twitter saying that there's only one other player that's done it in recent history, and it was Messi, and they were trying to sub him off. I forget who the manager was at the time, but Messi was just like, no. And then Messi, I think, went on to win and score the game-winning goal. But it's like, it's one thing when it's Messi, it's another thing when it's like Kepa, the goalkeeper, and Willie Caballero won Man City the Capital One Cup or the FA Cup, the Carabao, whatever it was called back in the day, in 2016 because he saved 2 or 3 penalties.
Exactly.
So, and I have never seen, it was so confusing because I think John Moss was the referee, I want to say. The referee. Anyway, he goes over to Kepa and he's like, are you good? And Kepa's like, yeah, I'm good. And then he goes over to the sideline because they see them bringing out the board and he goes to Sarri and he's like, so, is he subbing him? And Sarri looks like, reading lips and everything. Sarri looks like he's like, yeah, we want to send him out. And then the referee's just like, nope, denied. I'm going with the player on this one. Play on. I was like, what is going on? I've never seen anything like this.
Madness.
It was literally insane.
Madness.
And, I mean, now they beat us today. Chelsea beat Tottenham today, so I guess it just goes to show that Sarri knows what he's doing, and they rebounded, and they pulled him out. They put a week's wages that he has to pay back. Yeah. So they're trying to reprimand and fix the situation. Yeah. But definitely one of the crazier things I've ever seen in a soccer match.
And then the memes were fire.
Oh, they were so funny. Fire. All right, so this is moving back to United. United signed new deals with Luke Shaw, Martial, Smalling, Phil Jones, Scott McTominay, and we're still waiting on De Gea's new deal, so I know that you were saying we should just pay the man. Yeah. Aside from that list that I just listed, anyone else that you would say you think is up for a new deal that you should re-sign? I think Rashford did a new deal last year, so he's not, or recently, so he doesn't really need one. Like I said, Martial was on that list. Phil Jones just signed a new contract, unfortunately for you.
That was very surprising. I thought they were going to... I actually was surprised at the Smalling.
Yeah, me too.
A lot of United fans were, because I wasn't sure if United really wanted to keep going in that direction. I mean, we'll see what happens. Again, almost all bets are off now that Jose's gone because players that you thought were going to be main fixtures became
fringe
players, and then vice versa. Even though the last 2 games we've seen McTominay again, at one point, even under the last part of Jose's era, I was like, what happened to McTominay, the golden boy, who just out of nowhere, Jose just seemed to trust him more than anybody, trusted him more than Pogba. Yeah. Was playing McTominay every week, and then all of a sudden McTominay was just gone. Yeah. And I remember sitting there watching United game with my dad, and I was like, what happened to McTominay? Where is he? Is he hurt?
I mean, I think he's a great CDM, or he's going to be a future. He reminds me of very similar to Harry Winks, Tottenham's Harry Winks.
Oh, okay.
Harry Winks has kind of been taking up, a great spot. Sissoko's done really well, which I was like the majority of Tottenham fans and did not like him. Mm-hmm. I'm still waiting for the apology. He's working his way back into my favor, but he with Wanyama and Eric Dyer being injured, and even last week I was saying one of the more overrated players at Tottenham I think is Eric Dyer personally.
Why?
So I was telling Dave, so we'll beat Watford or Huddersfield, or we'll beat on this team, or Bournemouth or whatever. We'll beat them 4-0. They'd be like, oh wow, Eric Dyer had a great game. He had an assist, broke up the midfield, prevented us from the counter, yada yada. Then we go against the Uniteds, the Chelseas, the Arsenals, the Man Cities, and then it's like, Eric Dyer, he's on the field? Feels like we're playing a man down. That's just kind of the way I feel about him. Okay. So I think he's a little overrated in my opinion. Still love him. I mean, I love when he plays well, but it just seems that in the bigger games he just kind of, go you don't hear anything about him. He just kind of fades away into the game, which is something that, you really hope for him to do well. And even he's also, I know he started as a center back in his youth, but he is a center defensive mid. He's like the pinnacle of David Luiz. And I know I'm not a lot of hate for that, but David Luiz is not a center back. Everyone and their mother plays him at center back. Right? He's a great center defensive mid. He is a horrible center back. Take that to the bank. Yeah, I know, he's won titles with PSG. Yeah, who are they playing? No one? Monaco when like Mbappe was 15, like like when you know, like who are they? They were playing no one. Like Lyon was going through trouble. Like there was no other good teams.
That's true.
And then okay, he goes to Chelsea. He's won a couple titles there. Like oh yeah, he's won more titles than Tottenham. It's not because of David Luiz. It's because they had Terry and Cahill going nuts back there, and they had either Pedder or they had Courtois. It's not because of David Luiz that they won the game. Like
not at all. I mean, again, do we have to bring it back up? Look at what happened to him against Germany.
Oh my god! Yeah, he's the first player to lose. I think to lose by 6 goals because he just got torn up by Man City and he was in the team. Yes. I think he's like one of the first players ever to lose I guess at a big side that's been lost 6-0 or by 6 goals, like 7-1 to Germany and Brazil, and then 6-0 against Man City. So that's just my personal opinion. I know some people love him. I think if Chelsea were to put him as a CDM and they want to keep moving Conte further up the field, but I really think he's a CDM that's been misdiagnosed in his playing position his entire career.
I would agree with you there. I also, the one thing I have to give him, I don't know where it came from, but how does this man have a free kick like this?
Oh yeah,
what is that free kick? The knuckle on that is incredible.
Yes,
it's he's not a good defender, but man, he can take a free kick.
He's a center defensive mid. He's a center defensive mid who can take free kicks. Yeah, that is like taking that to the bank. So all right, a couple other things to go over. I guess. So Gareth Bale, there's kind of a lot going on with him. Dave and I were talking last time that he was potentially getting a 12-match ban for his celebration against Atletico Madrid. I don't know if you heard this news.
I did not.
He did kind of, he flipped off the crowd. He kind of did the arm up kind of thing. And the ref didn't put anything in his report. It was kind of like he jumped in it was like, ha! He didn't he didn't flip the bird, but he just kind of did that motion. The up yours motion. And so there's been a lot of rumors. I know the fans have hated on the Madrista fans have hated on Bale for a long time, which I think is unwarranted.
Completely.
One, he was in the shadow of Ronaldo, and any other player that's not named Messi would have been in the shadow of Ronaldo for one.
Exactly.
Two, he single-handedly won Real Madrid two Champions Leagues. Yeah. The first one they won for their Dichema.
Yeah.
It was gridlocked at 1-1 with Atletico and Madrid, and then he scored that header, and then I think he had the assist to Di Maria.
I think it was.
And then Ronaldo scored that penalty in stoppage time, and Ronaldo was flipping out, and they won 4-1. Yeah. That aside. And then the most recent one against Liverpool, I don't know if anyone watched. He didn't even start. Comes on, has a crazy strike. Yeah, maybe Karius fumbled the one that was from distance. But that bicycle kick is on par with one of the greatest goals I've ever seen. And you'll love this. Yeah. I think the greatest goal I've ever seen is Wayne Rooney's against Man City.
Oh, my God.
That goal is single-handedly.
I ran around my house for 5 minutes, just sprinting throughout.
I am bummed I never watched that live, but that goal might be the greatest goal I've ever seen. And Gareth Bale's is notched, right below it.
The thing is, obviously those bicycle kicks take top notch. But Gareth Bale also won that El Clasico. If you remember when
my gosh, when he got pushed out of bounds
and made that defender look like he was a fat
that
kid.
Alba? Yeah, or was that Sergio Roberto?
I think it might have been Sergio Roberto.
They were doing the sports science on that goal of him getting pushed out of bounds. And his closing speed and the distance he covered, Sergio Roberto covered. I'm gonna
bounce at half field.
I'm gonna say Sergio Roberto only covered 70 yards and Gareth Bale was 120. It was something insane, and it was Gareth Bale had 50 more yards to run and beat him to the ball and then meg the goalkeeper. That goal was incredible.
That was incredible.
That's what I'm bringing Kwame back already. We're just gonna do incredible goals. We're not even gonna talk normal soccer or the results that happen. We're just gonna go incredible goals and we'll rank them. Yeah. So we can put that on the books for later on.
That sounds great.
All right, so the Gareth Bale thing. So recently there's been a lot of news that the fans hate him or the teammates hate him. He almost got banned for 12 games. They did the whole review. Not banned. He's not banned at all. Can play in the El Clasico. He played, I guess, today. They lost to Barcelona. Barcelona's going on to the final. I don't know who they're playing. They might be playing Sevilla. Doesn't matter. Yeah. Barcelona's winning the Spanish Cup. Copa del Rey. But recently, there's been news that Perez was asking for $93 million for Gareth Bale. And so, what do you think will happen? Do you think they'll actually sell him? Where do you think he'd be a good fit for? And what do you think's the future of Gareth Bale's career here?
Okay, so Gareth Bale has, underwent so many transfer rumors at Real Madrid.
Yeah.
The whole time.
Even just leaving there. For the longest time, I was like, he's leaving Tottenham, he's staying at Tottenham. He's leaving Tottenham, he's staying at Tottenham. Leaving at Tottenham, finally goes to Madrid, you're like, okay. And then he's just like the brunt of whenever the Madrid fans are pissed that they lose, they blame him, which I find just ridiculous.
Exactly. It's unbelievable. And the thing is, I think he's going to end up staying there.
Really?
Yeah, because I think if he stuck it out this long, I think it's going to continue on. Because at this point, I really don't see a top team that really is going to pay that much for him and needs him. I think one team that could use him would be a team like Bayern. Do I think they would ever sign him? No. I don't think they'd ever sign him.
No.
But I think he would be a great fit there.
Yeah.
A phenomenal fit. I think there he could potentially do the same thing and win the Champions League.
Yeah.
But
I mean, he's already won freaking 4 of them.
Exactly.
And people are blaming him. I'm like, this dude's won
sense.
4 Champions Leagues. 4 Champions Leagues.
It makes no sense.
If that's not like a legend or a Hall of Fame football, I don't know what the hell is.
I don't know.
What, Ronaldo didn't even win one. Like, the Brazilian Ronaldo didn't win
Yeah.
one at Madrid with that team with Raul. Like, what, they haven't won one in, like...
That team was... All right, well, that's another day.
Madrid.
the Madrid teams.
The Madrid team, the last time they won was what, like 2004, 2000? Like, it's going way back.
Mm-hmm.
And then they finally won one in 2013. Then they didn't win in 2014. Then they won in 15, 16, and 7. I'm off by a year. They won like 14, didn't win 15, and then they won 3 straight with Zlatan.
Yeah.
So the last 3 years of 18, 17, 16, missed 15, and then they won 14. But yeah, still in the last 5 years they've won it 4 times, and
incredible.
Bale was on it those 4 times.
Those 4 times.
So yeah, I mean, just crazy.
I mean, Madrid. Granted, I have a different opinion of Angel Di Maria, but I mean, he was a savage at Real Madrid, and look at how they treated him.
Yeah. It's crazy.
He was part of the reason they won.
Yeah.
That first year in 2014.
Yes.
And
2014, I think it was. I believe so.
Yeah.
But well, Dave and I were saying if you were to go anywhere, we think Tottenham would be a good fit for into the team, legend, love him, love to have him. But I would also say United is a good spot. I think Liverpool, they're kind of trying to go youth. They're trying to go strategic, and it would just be paying a lot for a player that's probably not on the back end of his career, but he's 29. He's not very young. Mm-hmm. So I just think it would go against their transfer budget. Chelsea, I don't think would buy him. Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, although with Hazard going one way, you never know with Chelsea.
That's true.
And then Arsenal just wouldn't front the money.
No.
But like I said, I don't think Tottenham was fronting the money with our stadium delays and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So, but
at United, I kind of the thing is, I want to see what happens with Jesse Lingard. I want to see what Anthony Martial can become.
Yeah,
I mean, see that.
Aside from literally Alexis Sanchez, Ole is unlocked everyone else on that team to a different level. Lindelof, I like the signing even when you guys signed him, and I was just like, he got a lot of flack last year. He was starting at center back. Jose trusted him. He did not do well. I'm not going to say he did not do well or did well, but he definitely has gotten a lot better this year.
Oh yeah,
a lot better.
It's a learning curve.
It is. He's young. He's another one that's like 20, 21.
21 or 22.
But still, center backs are like fine wine. They age.
Yes.
They age like fine wines.
Mm-hmm.
You only get better with age because I think there's less of a speed aspect with that has the strikers and wingers. That center backs you can positional awareness, teammate awareness, holding a line that like comes with age and time and experience.
Absolutely.
Which if you slow down as a center back, if you're positionally in a better spot, that's much better than anything else.
When when Stones first got signed, people started making fun of him because he was slipping up at first. When he had a few in his first season, he had some miscues and people were making fun of him. But look at him, he's flourishing.
Yeah.
And indeed, in this past World Cup, it showed too. He's quality. Those center backs, you just got to give them time.
Yeah,
you just got to give them time.
Yeah, it definitely takes time. So I guess it wouldn't be a good sports podcast if we didn't talk about the man, the myth, the legend, Zlatan Ibrahimovic.
Oh.
He claimed he's going to break every record in the MLS at the ripe age of 37 years old. That man never ceases to impress. And I was just watching a video of the El Tráfico or the LA Galaxy versus the LAFC when I think it was he signed like 24 hours beforehand. The dude's getting off the plane. He's jet lagged because he was just flying back from United. Gets off the plane. Like I said, it was like 24 hours. Like people at the airports were going nuts for him to get there, which I understand. It's Zlatan. Dude is awesome.
Yeah.
He talks the talk, but even better, he walks the walk and he backs it up.
100%.
But that game, so they're down 3-0. 3-0. I think I don't know if Zlatan came on. They got a goal back.
Yeah, they got to go back. It was like 3-1. And I think it was like the 60th minute.
Yeah.
Or so he comes on.
Then he comes on, and he was on the field for it, and there was another goal. Another goal that he didn't even partake in. He was he was aside, so it's 3-2. Then he had that goal from distance. Putting his mark on the MLS. Like, oh, this is going to be my first goal from the MLS.
Yeah.
From distance. Yeah. Beats the keeper from distance. And then in the dying minutes of the game, they have a corner or a free kick, and he heads it in to win 4-3. Yeah. So, I mean, he's kind of like... I even hate using this now. I hate myself for doing this right now. He's like the Tom Brady of, like, soccer. And I'm a diehard Jets fan. I hate saying that. God. But he, just like with age, it's like he's a timeless wonder. Yeah. And I know you're a Giants fan, so I know it pains you to say that. But at least I like Zlatan. Yeah. I hate Tom Brady.
Same. Hate Tom Brady with fiery.
And he's another person. I hate Tom Brady, but I respect how good he is. And I hate saying it pains.
Best ever quarterback.
Without a doubt. I mean, who are you going to argue?
I think I almost threw up in my mouth.
Oh, I hate saying that.
Hey, at least he's 0-2 against Eli when it counts. That's all that matters to me. That's all that matters to me.
He's what, 1-3 against the NFC East right now?
Yeah.
He lost the Giants twice, and he lost the Eagles once, and he beat the Eagles once in like 2004 or something like that. Yes.
The Eagles lost to the Patriots in that one?
Yes.
With Donovan McNabb?
Yes.
Really?
I don't know. It wasn't Vic. It might have been McNabb.
Oh.
It might have been McNabb. Yeah, no, but they lost. That was going back to the Patriots and their cheating ways. That was the year that the Eagles had that crazy defense that no one could figure out. I think it was like a 4-3 defense, and like people weren't sure which linebacker went with which, and then that was when Patriots got caught in that whole Spygate scandal.
Oh, yeah.
And then they figured it out because they were reading their play calls from practices and stuff.
Yeah, that's right.
And I'm convinced that's one of the ones that's the tainted ring. Yeah, you may have 6, Brady, but you cheated to get a few.
You know what you did. You know what you did.
All right, so it's been great talking with you, Kwame. But to wrap up the sports podcast that I've been doing, we got to pick the 10 fixtures for next weekend. I really hated that the midweek games, they always throw me off. I can never watch them because I'm at work. So having yesterday and today's games really threw me off. I was hoping to do the predictions for this game, but I'll pull up on my phone for this Saturday and Sunday's games. Sounds good. We'll just go through. Like I said, we want it's the result and scoreline. So if you're like, which team's going to win, which team wins or draw, and then the scoreline, it's going to be 3-1, 1-1, whatever.
Sounds good.
So Dave and I both went 4-4 last week. We had different picks for a lot of them. And then in terms of scoreline, we went 0-8. So, okay. We picked Newcastle to win by this, but Newcastle blew out the team and we didn't get the scoreline right. So, trying to get better on these picks. Also, I'm not being sponsored at all, but NBC Sports has a NBC scoreline predictor. Or I'm gonna look at the app right now. It's Sports Predictor, and you can either predict on golf. I know nothing about golf, so I'm not predicting on that. Same. But they have a soccer portion that you can actually win money. I know they think they just started it this season, but yeah, it's picks. You literally just go in, pick which team you think will win the game, what the scoreline is, and if you're like 100% correct, you win like $50,000 or something like that, or you can win more money if you're the only one.
I don't put any. I don't.
No, it's no. Winning that. No, you don't have to put in money.
No, I'm saying I don't count on myself.
Oh no, I don't count on myself winning that at all. I went 4-4. I went 0-6 in terms of scoreline. So I don't even know if they count like you get a point for getting it right. This is my first week that I'm going to be doing it, but I don't know if they count like you get a point for getting it right, but you get 3 points for getting the scoreline right. Okay. Anyway, I probably would have done horrible last week because, like I said, 4-4. The Man City Everton game happened before we did our picks, and then Chelsea was delayed or postponed because they were playing Man City the next day for the EFL Cup. So we'll get into it and we'll start doing the picks. I'll have you since you're the guest, you get to pick first the scoreline, and then I get to put my 2 cents in.
All right, sounds good.
So, on Saturday, starting off bright and early, we have the North London Derby. Arsenal at Tottenham, so not even at our new stadium. I'm pretty upset about that, but at Wembley. So Arsenal at Wembley, Tottenham Stadium. What are you going to say is the result, and then what's the scoreline?
2-1 Tottenham.
2-1 Tottenham. Holy crap. I love you. I want to win. I think it's going to be a 1-1 draw. Okay. So 1-1 draw is what I'm saying for that one.
Okay.
We've got Man City at Bournemouth.
That's going to be about a 3-0 Man City.
3-0 Man City?
Yeah.
I'm going to go 4-0 Man City.
4-0 Man City, okay.
Southampton at Manchester United.
Okay, I think we're going to win this one about 2-0.
I'm going United, but I'm going 3-1.
Okay.
3-1. Huddersfield at Brighton. So this is kind of getting into the relegation battle. Like, both these teams need all 3 points. But yeah, like I said, Huddersfield at Brighton.
I'm going Brighton 1-0.
You're going Brighton 1-0. I'll go Brighton 1-0. That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Crystal Palace at Burnley. Middle of the table clash kind of here.
Yeah, I'm going to say Crystal Palace 2-0.
2-0? All right. I'm going to go Crystal Palace 3-1.
Okay.
Because they just thrashed Leicester.
Yeah.
And Burnley beat us, and then they lost today. So, or yesterday.
They look good. And Crystal Palace looks...
Crystal Palace does look good.
They played United today. They look decent.
Yeah. So what did I say? 3-1?
Yeah.
3-1, okay. Cardiff City at Wolves.
I'm going to go 1-0 Wolves.
1-0 Wolves. Or as Dave and I coined them, Portugal B team.
Portugal B team.
I'm gonna go 2-0 Wolves.
Okay.
2-0 Wolves. Newcastle against West Ham. Newcastle at West Ham.
Newcastle at West Ham. I'm gonna go 1-0 Newcastle.
1-0 Newcastle.
Yeah.
Almirion, or is that how you pronounce his name? Almirion? The guy Almiron. He's playing out of his mind, and I'm very happy. I think the MLS has a ways to go to be a better league, not even the best league. That's a whole different story. I don't think that's ever happened in my lifetime. A lot of things got to change for that to happen. But it looks really good that he came from there, and he's tearing it up there.
Yes.
He's tearing it up.
It's humongous that he is doing what he's doing.
And they signed him for not cheap, $27 million, most expensive MLS player to leave.
Yep.
And the new commissioner, I was listening to some on ESPN FC. Like I said, also not sponsored, but if they want to, I won't be upset about it.
Right.
They want to sponsor me in my podcast and YouTube videos, but
give him his money.
I would love that. But they were saying Taylor Twellman was interviewing the commissioner. I'm drawing a blank on his name, but the new MLS commissioner.
Garber?
Yes, Garber. Yeah. He was talking to him. That win for Kwame.
Right?
Yeah.
Right.
We should deserve a sponsorship for this man getting it right. I bring quality people on. But with the MLS, one of the changes he wanted to implement was we no longer need to be a buying league, because I think he was saying when he first started they spent $160 million in total in clubs. They only sold $60 million worth of talent. He's like, if you really want to get renowned on the global market, you need to export players. He's like, as much as it pains me to say, but there's always going to be room for younger or new players to come in and come up the leagues. But us selling him to Newcastle looks good for the MLS, especially that he's doing well. Exactly. That only helps build brand awareness.
Look, I'm telling you, it is a easy pipeline. The United States and its location, and the fact that we have the resources in our region. Yeah. In our region. It's humongous. We can just become that South American, Central American, Caribbean pipeline. This is a place where, obviously, a player can go to a team like Boca Juniors, Atlético Nacional, shout out Colombia, and your River Plate, and become stars there. Yes, Santos, we know that. But in the United States, we have more resources. We have better television deals, right? And you have these South American, Central American populations that are already set up here. Mm-hmm. If we take those players and establish them here, and we make this a place for those young players to come and grow, that's how we're going to become that selling league.
And yeah, I kind of see the MLS is kind of like a twofold thing in the sense that, one, it's great to have soccer or football, as you call it, around the world, which makes sense because American football should be just called hand egg. It's literally just like you're never using your foot except to kick field goals or the kickoff.
And they might even get rid of it.
And they might even get rid of that too. They might even just get rid of extra points. The only kicking would be field goals, and that's like what, like a small percentage of the game.
The tiniest.
It should just be called hand egg. We're changing it. Goodell, write it down. Hand egg. American hand egg is what we're playing from now on. So football or soccer, as we call it, the MLS. It's good and it's bad. So good. We have an up-and-coming league. I like where it's going. It's gotten a lot better than when it started, 20 years ago at this point?
Yeah.
It's gotten a lot better. But the twofold aspect of it is that we've made our group more difficult to qualify for the U.S. team. I won't go into us not qualifying for the 2018 World Cup. It still pains me. Yeah, we should have qualified. There's no way, and especially with Bruce Arena calling out and saying, the pitch was horrible. Sweden and someone else played on a cow pasture.
Yeah.
They played on a cow pasture. At least we played on a field. Yeah, it didn't drain well. It was a little wet. They were playing on the same field, and we were not playing on a cow pasture.
Also, you played in these conditions when you were a kid.
Yes. Yeah.
What? You're acting like these, okay, yeah, you grow up and you end up you play on better pitches, you play on these official pitches and, in your fancy stadiums, but when you were 7 years old, you were mucking around in the mud.
Yes, exactly. So, getting over the fact that it was a shame. It was
embarrassing.
We didn't deserve to qualify
for
how we performed, but we damn well should have qualified.
Yeah.
It was 11 different ways we could have qualified, and all 11 of the results went against us. Went against us. We just needed a point. We didn't even need to win. That's how bad it was.
Pathetic.
Rant over. But anyway, the twofold aspect is with the MLS up and coming, and like you said, it's kind of become the Central America, South America, Mexico, U.S., Canada getting better. The Caribbean. It has made it more difficult for the U.S. going forward because we've now helped the other nations that weren't as good, and when we're taking their players to the MLS, they're getting better, and it's making the U.S. harder to qualify. But newsflash, if you ever want to win a World Cup, anyone from this region, we'll lump in Mexico, and I don't like them because they're the U.S. men's national team's rivals. If any of us want to win a World Cup, it's not getting out of this region. It's beating teams in Europe.
Yeah.
It's beating teams in Europe or Brazil or Argentina. So, suck it up. We need to get better.
Yeah.
And if we ever, we're going to be like those Cubs fans that, they never got to see their team win. They're 104 and they missed the window. Yeah. That's going to be what the U.S. of soccer is. Yeah. But if we ever want to win, we have to, one, get better with the MLS. But with the MLS making everyone in the area better, that's only going to make the U.S. men's national team better. It's going to make it more difficult to qualify, definitely. But we should get out with the strength of our squad. The players that have now gone to Germany, a bunch of our youngsters have gone there. So
I have a question for you about the MLS.
Okay.
I don't know if you've seen it all, but they've been rapidly expanding.
I have. I've been following.
I mean, I thought that they were going to add a few more teams, but the number of teams that they're adding is more than I anticipated. I think they added a new Texas team.
Yeah.
Was it San Antonio?
Yeah, I think you're right.
I actually anticipated FC Cincinnati coming into the MLS, but I didn't expect Nashville. I figured David Beckham would get his Miami at some point. Yeah. But they're and they're thinking of even new teams. It's like, at what point do we say this is all right? Let's calm it down.
Yeah, I don't know if that's in a push to eventually break the MLS into like MLS 1 and MLS 2, like Premier League, like with the Premier League and the Championship, and kind of once you have that many teams, or I don't know if with them adding more teams are going to fold in turn. That's kind of the thing that I worry about if they keep adding at such a fast rate. But if they definitely want to break down, MLS 1, MLS 2, MLS 3, or kind of have that tier system that like London has, that would be the good side of it. I guess the bad side, if teams start folding, it's like, okay, we added all these teams, but then we had to fold a bunch of teams because we diluted our pool. But there's definitely enough players that we can pull from. Not saying the kids from Europe are going to want to come here, but who knows? Maybe we can pull talent from Europe, pull talent from the Caribbean, Central America, South America, the United States. maybe that's the way to globalize our league, is to start pulling players from internationally.
Yeah.
But obviously, the end goal right now in this current state is to end up in one of the top 5 leagues. I mean, there's no beating around the bush. You want to end up in Italy, Spain, France, England. I'm drawing a blank here. Which is the last one? Italy, France, Germany. There we go. Thank you.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously that's where the best players in the world play, are in those 5 leagues. Yeah. Obviously, sometimes they start in other leagues and they get pulled to the better leagues, to those 5 leagues. But that's just kind of where we sit.
Yeah. No, we just got to make it up there.
Yeah.
It's the only way.
All right, so we'll end rant there. We'll keep going. West Ham, Newcastle. I know. What did you say? You said
I said 1-0 Newcastle.
1-0 Newcastle. I'm gonna go 2-1 Newcastle.
Okay.
Sunday, we're loading in the picks here. My iPhone 6 is failing me. This is why I need sponsors, to get a new phone.
Please. That's true. My iPhone 6 is failing me too. It does that flicker thing now. It's terrible.
All right. We've got Chelsea at Fulham. Fulham would be doing a lot of favors to everyone in the top 6 if they beat them. But
everybody.
Chelsea at Fulham.
I mean, I have to go 2-0 Chelsea. Even though I would love to see, I mean, there's a little place in my heart that thinks that they could do a 1-1 draw, but my brain says 2-0 Chelsea.
I'm going to go 3-0 Chelsea over Fulham.
Yeah.
We've got the Merseyside derby.
Yeah.
We've got Liverpool at Everton, which could be... Everton have historically not done well against Liverpool. I mean, that you just look up the history. It's not been good.
Not good.
But Everton have a quality squad.
They do.
They have not played well as of recently. Actually, they're like on and off.
Yeah.
And they're definitely going to be hyped up for playing Liverpool.
Oh,
they would love nothing more than to absolutely ruin Liverpool's title chances. If they could say it was them that stopped them, I think that would probably be the highlight of their season.
It definitely would.
So we got Liverpool at Everton.
0-0.
0-0 draw. Really?
Yeah.
I'm going to go... Oh, man,
It's a hot take. Yeah, I know.
That is a hot take.
Yeah, it's a hot take.
I'm feeling 1-1, but no, I just can't see it happen. I'm going 3-1 Liverpool.
Okay.
3-1 Liverpool. Yeah, I can't see it.
Yeah, I was just gonna. I'm just going off of the hope that Sadio Mane and Salah were just a bit off, in the United game. They did regain a solid amount of form today. Solid amount, but I'm just thinking maybe they'll kind of. They won't connect as well in this next game because I think Everton's going to be hyped up. And maybe they'll just buzz around the field a lot and just kind of break up that chemistry.
Yeah. I don't know.
We'll see.
So you're going 1-1. I'm going 3-1 Liverpool. And then the last game of the weekend, we got Leicester City at Watford.
Okay, that one's hard. But I'm going to go with a 2-1 Leicester win.
2-1 Leicester win?
Yeah.
I'm going to also go 2-1 Leicester win.
All right.
So that wraps up episode 2. Kwame, thanks, my dude, for coming on the podcast. Like I said, we'll have to do greatest goals of all time.
Definitely.
We'll clip maybe little clips of the best goals, or we'll watch them and then describe the best goals that have ever happened.
Oh yeah, no, that sounds great.
But thanks for having you. I'm happy to have you. So thanks for being on this.
I'm glad to be here.
All right, catch you later. Thanks, guys. Catch you later.